All right, all you fantastic football fanatic, fabulous freakazoid fans. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm your host, Chris.
And welcome back to another episode of Point After Podcast. And this is going to sound really weird, but I need to link my this live stream to somebody because somebody's like, hey, can you send me a thing that a link to your podcast as I'm like recording? Because they're like, oh, hop on the game. And I'm like, can't, sorry.
All right, we're grinding.
I know. Hold on, let me stop this music. There we go. Let me send this person a link to my show.
Well, Adrian's working on that. Major news in Cowboys land, and as a result, this will now be a Uma Masame themed show.
Dude, you do not start talking about Umas right now.
All right, no.
I mean, we can, absolutely, but this is going to become an Uma-only podcast if we do that.
I would rather talk about Uma Masame. I'd rather talk about the Horse Girls than the Cowboys.
Dude. Okay, let's talk about Umas for a little bit then. They did like a PvP event like a week ago, and I thought I had a pretty decent lineup of Umas. And, there's things like I think we were talking about how Super Smash Bros. Is a very humbling game.
Yeah.
There's things that like will humble you. And to say that this was a humbling experience doesn't even like come close. This was like, you can be like, oh yeah, that humbled me and still be like, but I learned something. Like there was something about, no, there was nothing of value to be gained from entering this PvP event. It was just like,
well,
I went 0 and like 35.
Do you think you're playing against? That is crazy. Do you think all the people you were doing PvP against were people that were opening up the wallet a little bit? Opening up the checkbook.
I mean, probably. Almost undoubtedly, I'm sure. But I will say what it is that people just like did their crazy research ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they had because it was like you had a team of 3, right? And so at least one of those 3 was guaranteed to be an end closer because there's no debuff. There's like one debuff for end closers. And then like another one of those 3 was just nothing but debuffs for like pace chasers and like late surgers and front runners.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like you get hit by like 6 debuffs and then an end closer would just come at like torpedo speed and win.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't great. I could have probably tried to grind out that kind of team, but I wasn't trying to.
That sounds kind of hype to watch, though.
Just watching the races is the entire point of playing Umas. But this isn't an Uma podcast.
Not yet.
Not yet. We can start a subsidiary show just about Umas.
Ask us again mid-season. Depends on how the Cowboys are doing.
Yeah, depending on how the Cowboys are doing, we might just talk about Umas all season long.
Yeah, now it's become the Uma Masame show.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But big news, hot takes, and we're also going to be giving our predictions for week 1 here.
Yes,
Yeah. That being said, I do have some like feedback from the fans, from some fans that asking me questions about how do I feel about like the big news that we're about to reveal. So they're not here, but like I have their messages, so they'll get some interaction, I guess, here. That being said, there was also one more thing. Oh, yeah. If you have not already joined the Fantasy Football Podcast or the Fantasy Football League for the podcast and are interested, please send one of us our message. I think we only have like 4 or 5 people in it. Of course, we need more people, so to make the stakes that much higher.
Yeah. So sign up.
Chris here is going to just draft Kenny Clark, 14 times.
There you go.
You can't actually do that. But yes. All right, Chris, you wanna give us the big news, the latest and hottest out of the Dallas press conference?
So on Thursday, we've talked about what's been going on with Mr. Micah Parsons. The best player on the Cowboys defense. They've been having a little contract dispute with old Jerry Boy, and both of our positions have been like, this is just all for show. Like we've seen it a million times. Like they're just gonna drag it out, and then he's gonna sign like a mega deal at the last moment. Well, that was not the case. Um, Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers for 2 first rounders and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. And I mean, any way you slice it, because we both like had our opinions on Micah, and they definitely weren't favorable. We're talking about him like disappearing in big games and stuff, but like this, any way you slice it, this is like a massive blow to the defense.
Yeah, so let's get a little bit more into those details about like the trade and the contract. So Micah was signed to, I believe, a 4-year extension over in Green Bay for $188 million. I think what that comes out to like 40,
like 47.
Yeah, something
Crazy money.
Year, a lot of money for sure.
Yeah.
He's like currently now the highest paid non-QB player in the league in the history of the game. Emphasis on history because next year that glass ceiling is going to be broken.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then we got the 2 first rounds picks and then Kenny Clark. Now let's talk about on face value. Everyone's going to be looking at this and saying, "Oh yeah, the Dallas Cowboys messed up." Like let's laugh at Jerry and everyone. But I heard a question that could bring up an interesting take. If the Dallas Cowboys would have signed Micah Parsons for $188 million for 4 years, would we be talking about how Micah worked Jerry?
Somewhat, I think so. But
I think so too. And I want to put a big disclaimer. I have some crazy hot takes that's going to make me sound like a Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones apologist here.
We got some spicers.
And maybe some of my takes might be in defense of those individuals. But let it be known that I still think Jerry Jones is a moron.
Oh,
and while it may sound like I am defending Jerry, I definitely have takes on Jerry that will not make it, or will make it so that he never wants to be on our show.
No, dude, we can't have Jerry.
But let's talk a little bit about the timeline of how things happened. I believe they tried getting this contract dispute done back in April.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of like allegedlys because we're not like in the Jerry world's like office room, right? But allegedly, Jerry sends Micah a contract package, right? That says, I think it was like $202 million for 5 years, with most of that guaranteed. Micah sends that contract to the agent. The agent wants to be present for negotiations, and Jerry, being the old man that he is like, no, I don't want to work with the agent. I want to only speak strictly with Micah. Which, from my understanding, my limited understanding of NFL and whatnot, that's super unethical and against like the NFLPA for whatever that means. Which, fun fact, I was just like listening to a video today about how like the union president of the NFLPA was like caught going to certain clubs.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, unethical. Okay.
Where your union dudes are going.
Yeah, where are your union dudes going? Got to boost morale somehow, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that being said, so it's like, okay, I guess the NFLPA is kind of a joke. I'm not sure, right? But anyway, Jerry doesn't want to negotiate with the agent. Micah doesn't want to negotiate with Jerry without the agent present. They start going back and forth, and eventually Micah requests a trade. Jerry's trying to get Micah to like sign this agreement, and ultimately they gave in and traded him. As far as I'm concerned, that's the timeline. But I think I think I left out the part where when Micah presents that contract to the agent, this was before the TJ Watt signing, so it's possible that the agent might have told Micah to just hold out and wait till after like the TJ Watt or whatever contracts goes through to try to get a little bit more money. I don't know. That would be probably my big guess, but it does burn a little bit because Micah had like this big talk about like how much he wanted to be in Dallas and whatnot, and at the end you don't sign the gargantuan contract that Jerry is willing to give you because your homeboy, the agent. Which, by the way, it should be prefaced that the agent is not like is Micah's homeboy. He is like a guy who actually has clients in the NFL. This isn't just a nobody. This isn't like Tommy DeVito's agent.
Right.
um, the agent David Mongietta. I think that's how you say his name. Anyway, it's the same agent that got the Deshaun Watson trade. He also represented Jordan Love, I believe, and he tried to represent T. Higgins, but T. Higgins fired him.
Yeah, he's an established guy.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm getting at. He's established. So, but he does have like this game plan of hold it out, threaten, to sit out in trades and whatever to get more money. And when Jerry's like, no, I don't want to deal with the agent. The agent wanted to play ball. Now, I have a lot of strong takes, and I'm sorry if I'm hogging a lot of the conversation here.
Oh, go for it.
But I think it's a load of baloney that a player can be on contract and say, I'm going to sit out on my final year of the contract because I want like some stability. Remember what Dak Prescott did when he got franchise tagged for the second time? He broke an ankle and he still balled out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, we can hate on him for being the $60 million man that just has flopped so far. But at the end of the day, when he had no certain future with the Dallas Cowboys and a broken ankle, he still gave it his all. And, he, in a sense, I guess you can say, earned his paycheck of $60 million.
My dog's
He's got dogs. So yeah, Dak Prescott, had no certain future with the team and still balled out, and yet, Michael Parsons still has one year left on this contract, and he knows for a fact that Dallas is going to want to try to sign him, no matter what. They were pretty, Jerry was pretty vocal about that, and yet you are creating this big drama because you want a contract for future for the future, even though you got 1 year. Like, I wish I could be making $40 million a year and just say, I know that it's my job and I'm on contract, but I'm going to just sit out and pretend that like my back hurts and you have to prove that my back hurts because I want a bigger contract. Like, I think that's a load of turd, and a lot, and like that has become very, very common for a lot more players throughout the league. And unfortunately, I don't think there's any stopping that. But if there was one person who like had like the stones to like be unethical and just like play hardball and franchise tag somebody to just sit on their butt for the next 3 years, it would have been Jerry. Like, no other like GM or owner is going to do that. And if Jerry didn't stand up to the NFLPA and like the players sitting out and wanting contracts a whole year ahead of time and agents being a bunch of leeches, if Jerry couldn't do that, then no one's going to do it. And I'm so disappointed, as funny as it would have been, but I understand we also don't want to spend, $200 million on a player to do nothing.
That would be a crazy scenario if like Micah just doesn't play for 3 years. But yeah,
Sorry, I'm drinking water.
No, you're good. Yeah, and that's how that's the thing about a player holding out. You see it in the NBA a lot too, where it's like a player will just be like, I'm refusing to play for you, and I'm just gonna either rot on the bench or you trade me, because that gives the team that the team has zero leverage when a player does that, because it's like you have to trade them, and other teams know that you're desperate to get them off the roster. And that we saw that happen with Micah. Like, I think the Cowboys could have gotten way, way, way more. Like, honestly, I think this package they got from him is pretty weak.
Continue.
Like, they could have gotten way more if they just got in front of this holdout thing and just decided we're not going to pay you and just traded him back in like April. Because just the second a player holds out, their trade value tanks. And because teams know you have to trade them, so they're going to lowball you.
I mean, you don't have to trade him. You can just pay him to do nothing. But yeah,
right. But you basically have to trade them. So it's like if they, I mean, and it's like we knew it was coming. Like there's been rumblings about it for a while that like there's going to be problems with the contract. So it's like if you didn't want to pay him, why didn't you trade him sooner? We could have gotten.
Well, it's not like they didn't want to pay him. They offered him $202 million for 5 years. And you don't want to sign that because your friend, the agent or whatever, tells you not to hold out.
I mean,
wait for the TJ Watt, contract to see if you can get a larger bag, and you still come to the fans saying it's not about the money.
I feel like with this dude, I think we should have known that this is going to happen no matter what. They could have like offered him a blank check, and I still feel like he would hold out and be like, "No, I want one of those jumbo game show checks." And it's just like knowing that. I think like I mean, we talked about it last year. Like, it just feels like his days on the Cowboys are numbered. So I feel like if they just traded him sooner, they could have gotten like 3 firsts and like some like, and it's like. I'm like memeing about the Kenny Clark fan thing. It's like he's not a bad player. He's like
Kenny Clark's a pretty decent player,
but he is older. His production, I've been like looking into his.
He's like what, a 9-year vet or something like that.
Yeah, and his production has been like steadily declining. I think he will like he's a good interior guy. And it's like the Cowboys always need interior guys. Like, but the return could have been so much better if they didn't just completely mishandle this entire situation. Which that's the Cowboys' way.
I'm not going to disagree that they mishandled the situation. I will say that I personally think that Micah is overhyped. I mean, I've been on this. This is not a new take. This is something I've been saying for at least the last like 2 seasons, that he's a guy that will get you like 90 plus pressures in the regular season. He's good for anywhere from 10 to 14 sacks during the regular season. But in the last 4 years, he's gone to 3 playoff games and has recorded 1 sack in those 3 playoff games.
Yeah, he disappears in the playoffs.
He disappears. And even during the regular season, it's 3rd and long. The Dallas Cowboys need to get this stop. And Micah just gets laid on his back by the O-line.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have some more takes on why I, have been kind of like a Micah, like, realist. I'm not going to say doubter, realist here. But yeah, I think the guy is good. I think he is overhyped and overvalued a lot by non-Micah fan. But I think he's overvalued by Micah fans. And I think we have to separate a fan of the game, the football game, a fan of the team, and a fan of the player or players. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of the players. I am what?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a fan of the players. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have my Dallas jersey that has number 88, which has Lamb on it. But the best part about 88 is that that's a legacy. You know what our Michael Irvin says about why he doesn't want his jersey retired?
What does he say?
He says, if you retire the number, right, you retire 8. He gets his jersey put in like a case, it gets retired. He gets his flowers then. But if you don't retire it and you got Dez, wearing 8s, you got Lamb now wearing 8s. If Lamb drops a ball, Michael Irvin would have never dropped that ball. If CeeDee Lamb catches like a miracle of a catch, it's got a little bit of Michael Irvin to it. Michael Irvin now gets his flowers every time Lamb takes that stage, and anyone else who's wearing 8s.
That's what's
so
up.
You know what? That's why you're a fan of the team. You're not a fan of the individual. So like, yeah, I have Lamb, but it has 88, and that has more history.
Exactly.
So I'm not a fan of like an individual. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll cheer on an individual player, especially if they're on my fantasy roster.
Yeah.
but everyone on the current Dallas roster can leave tomorrow, and they can have a complete new lineup made out of like UFL players, and I'll still be wearing the Dallas jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think Micah's overvalued. I do think that what we got from him is a little bit low. I think we probably could have used, a fourth round draft pick on top of the 2 first rounds, because those two
Mhm.
first rounds are probably going to be like mid to late first rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Kenny Clark is a decent value, but I think we could have probably gotten one more like fourth rounder.
Yeah, or even say that people were saying Lucas Van Ness, the Packers defensive end. I think he's a defensive end or a linebacker. Um, was like possibly going to be part of the trade as well, and like that, that's young. That dude's like in his like third year. He was like a super high draft pick and hasn't quite hit his potential yet, but like that's someone I would much rather have had thrown into that deal. Like someone that's still like he's kind of a mystery box, but like Kenny Clark, I feel like we know what he is, which is
Right.
fine. Um,
Yeah.
but
People are saying that this makes Packers Super Bowl contenders, and I don't want to be clear that if it was reversed, if the Packers were giving this trade to the Cowboys and the Cowboys were giving up, their interior linemen, 2 first rounds and whatever, right?
mhm.
People would be laughing at the Dallas Cowboys because they're not seen as contenders. This is only seen as a complete blockbuster because this is, in my opinion, the Green Bay Packers going all in on this. They are,
Yeah.
going full LA Rams here. I think their window is either this year and maybe next year, but after that, I think their window is closing pretty big
Mhm.
because they have Micah now on a giant contract, they have Jordan Love on a big contract, and their young squad is going to want to get paid very soon.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
this is Green Bay's all in,
And it's like I feel like
window.
if you're them, you have to do it because it's just like I mean, they had that run 2 years ago in Love's first full year where like he looked really good, and then they brought in like Josh Jacobs, and like they had really high expectations last year, and they just kind of were the same. So when you're doing that, and then you're also playing in the same division with the Tiger or the I always call them the Tigers,
The
um,
Lions.
the Lions and the Vikings. I feel like if you want to stay caught up with those teams, you have to make a move like this.
I forgive you for getting the Tigers and the Lions confused since I'm wearing a baseball jersey.
Yeah, and it's like I mean they both play in Detroit, and they're both big cats. Like,
Okay, but there is a reason why I'm also wearing the baseball jersey.
oh, what's
Because,
that?
look, when someone first mentioned about the trade to me, right, they said, hold on, let me find the message. They said, at this point, they need to remove this fool, referring to Jerry Jones. And I replied, I think it's better that we got trade value than having a drama queen in the locker room sit out, referring to Micah. And the reason why I think getting that trade value, right? Because you don't have to trade him. You can just pay him to sit on his butt, all year, right?
Right.
But as an Angels fan, I still feel that burn of like the Angels were really nice to Shohei Ohtani. They didn't like trade him when they could have traded him. They offered him a decent contract and everything. Don't get me wrong, if he's gonna chase the money, the Dodgers gave him a massive check
Yeah.
to play, for them. So I don't blame Shohei for going to the Dodgers. But at the end of the day, the Angels played too nice instead of hardball with a generational talent there. And not only do we no longer have Shohei, we have just nothing to show for it when they could have just been like, all right, Shohei's probably not going to sign with us. We can't give him the money that he's going to be asking for. We're going to trade him and get as many draft picks or players as possible. So you know what? I'll take whatever trade value we could have got for this generational talent.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah,
at one point, yeah, you're right. I will take it. It's better than letting him walk in free agency and get nothing. But
correct.
I feel like we could have gotten such a better return. And
Well, also maybe let's say he decides to play because he can't sit out, right?
mhm.
And there's still the trade deadline and whatever. But he gets, let's say, injured, like actually injured, not like fake, like oh my
Oh, my
back
back.
hurts, right? Yeah. So like let's say he like I don't know hamstring or shattered collarbone or something. I don't know, right? Then his
Mhm.
trade value even goes even lower than you would
Mhm.
have gotten for him if you were even planning on trading him. So I'll take. I think we could have got a little bit more, but I think this is probably close to the most we could have gotten from
Yeah.
any team.
And just I don't know, it does suck to see him go. It's like I know, like yeah, he was kind of like a diva, a crybaby, but it's like, dude, he was just when he was on, like he was crazy. I mean, defensive rookie of the year, he was just like a beast from like the second he stepped on the field. And it's like now, like I don't know, now the defense is going to be significantly worse. You know, it's like even in the games like we talked about where he doesn't show up, like defenses still have to or offenses still have to plan for him. And then when they double cover him, it's weaker somewhere else in the line where like someone else can, maybe like Nealon can get home on the other side. But that being gone now, it's just this defense looks rough. I think
It doesn't look great. I mean, I think that if you add Micah to it, it still doesn't look great.
no, but it goes from
but
like
it does
being
look better.
it goes from being like average to bad with him on there without him on
Yeah.
the defense. Yeah.
So somebody asked me, in my professional sports commentator view, listen to the professional here,
Wow.
guys. Yeah. Is it a leadership issue where they don't know how to pick talent and make sure that the team can like synergize, or is it a player level where like there's issues in the locker room that affect their performance on the field? And my response was, it is honestly both. Let's be real. Jerry is a dummy. He could have done a lot better, negotiating this. Like, I can't understand why you don't want to negotiate with the agent. Like, I understand, like, if you think they're a leech, that's one thing. But that's what you have to do to secure, your players, then do it. I don't understand why you just wouldn't, right? You got to give in to, like, the smallest of demands in that case. But we're going into the Micah Parsons, like, haterade here. Like, hold on, like, insert Minecraft like noises, just like
yeah.
The haterade has been sipped. The guy was I don't want to sound like Skip Bayless here, but the guy was a bit of a cancer, in my opinion, to the to the team. There was a few instances over the last couple of years where he goes into his podcast and just like cries publicly about like, oh my goodness, like the 49ers are so mean to us. Like, like you're on the field for like what, an hour? Show that you mean it. Don't go to your podcast and like complain that like, oh, we got our butts kicked, but like we'll get them next time. No, like there might not be a next time. Show them now, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was an episode on his podcast where he put like the top 10 QBs and Dak Prescott wasn't on the top 10. And now look, I'm not a defender of Dak Prescott or anything, but if that's my guy, that's number one. If that's the guy you believe to put you like lead your offense every day, I don't care if you think that he's the worst quarterback statistically, numerically, whatever. That is my number one. That is your ride or die. And for him to not even be on that list, I'm not like saying, oh, he has to be number one. Like he should be because that's your quarterback. But to not even be on that list, that is insulting. And I understand Micah has gone into like the public and like on Twitter and whatever to like praise Dak on some of his performances before and like kind of protect him from some of the haterade sometimes, or that like that the media puts on Dak.
Right.
But dude, that shows your full character, that like he's not even on your radar for being number one when that should be like your ride or die. So, evidence number one. But the biggest take I have for like him just being like an even bigger cancer to the team is that last season, DeMarvion Overshown outran him on a play to catch a ball carrier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it was like right after or during the game, Micah goes out to DeMarvion Overshown and says, dude, you can't be running that fast because you're making me look bad in comparison.
That's alleged, though.
Alleged, but okay, even if it's alleged, every rumor should be taken with a grain of salt, but it is based on some fact.
Yeah, it's like where there's smoke, there's a fire, for sure.
Right. And even if it's a joke, you don't joke about, hey, dude, you're making me look bad because you're too good of a player. You need to bring it down a notch. How many other players, allegedly could he have like told, said this to? You don't tear down your teammates. You don't not rate your quarterback on a top 10 and then say, I have this star and it's on the side of my helmet and it's a privilege to be here. No, you're betraying your team at that point, and you're only just like saying out to the fans, "Yeah, I love being in Dallas," but truthfully, you don't. And like, who wants to play next to somebody like that? It's like the whole like Tyreek Hill situation in Miami right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. Man, I would feel a lot better if this trade if DeMarvion Overshown didn't explode last year.
He should be back by like week 5.
That's good. Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought he's gonna be out way longer. So
Oh, wait, do you mean like explode? Like he like took the spotlight, or explode because like
no, I mean
his
like
leg
his like leg
exploded?
exploded. Yeah,
I think it was like an torn ACL. He didn't. His
yeah,
leg didn't actually explode for legal reasons.
yeah, for legal reasons. But yeah, dude, because like, dude, there are a lot of plays Overshown like did just straight up look better than Micah. Like not only in terms of ability, but in terms of like effort. You know, like he was always like a high effort guy, like high motor guy.
That guy gave 110% until the whistle was
Yeah,
blown.
yeah,
When I think by Marvian Overshown, I always think to that Thanksgiving game against the Giants.
dude, that play was so sick.
Dude, I don't even have to say the play. You already know. But
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. You know, hopefully Overshown will be back and he'll like be, coming back from an ACL. Who
right,
knows? It's a mixed bag. But yeah, hopefully he can get it done. I know like people have said that like people that like evaluate the talent for the team are like really high on Marshawn Nealand as well. So we'll see. But yeah, edge rushing in Dallas is going to look a lot different this year. Um, it's
that's fine. You know
unfortunate.
what? Statistically, just send your front 4. Statistically, if you send
Dude,
your front, you either send 4 or you send 6. But if you
yes,
send 5,
I
you
saw
saw
that
that?
article. Yeah, where like
Okay.
sending 5 is now like the mid-range jumper in NBA, where it's just like the amount of benefit you get for having sending that fifth guy isn't
Is
enough.
Yeah, it doesn't offset
So it's like you might as well either send 6
or send only 4.
and send 4 and like have more people in coverage. So yeah, I think. Well, I mean, with our coverage, I think we should be sending 6. Just get there before
Because
the
we got
quarterback.
Blandon Diggs back.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Diggs has been kind of falling off.
Okay, we haven't seen much of Diggs because he's been injured, but
Yeah.
I will say that if Diggs can be the ball hawk that he was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Yeah.
and I mean like still in coverage he's good, but like we our 2 high safeties are still pretty decent. I mean
Yeah.
Malik Hooker.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we believe in our secondary, yeah, send 6.
Mistake.
But yeah, I don't want to say good riddance, but I'm not gonna cry about losing Micah. I will cry that he went to an NFC team.
Out of all teams, the Packers, dude. I think the only worst team could be the Eagles.
I agree. It could the only other worst team could have been the Eagles, but would I be less distraught if he went to like the Chargers? Yeah,
Yeah. Especially
but
since you're pretty high on them this year.
I have to be. I have a fan that you said that the Chargers are the sleeper team. So 2 biggest takes for this season, right? Okay, Chargers sleeper team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I shouldn't be, but I'm on like that high. Dallas is going to be a sleeper team. Everyone's looking at us like we're mid, and you know what? I think losing Micah is going to only light a fire under the defense and be like, you know what? We don't need Micah. There's
Maybe.
31 other teams that don't have a Micah, and they make it to the playoffs. They win Super Bowls. They win rings. We don't need a Micah.
I think every game is going to be a shootout, which at least it'll be entertaining.
You know me. You know that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's what we've always been saying. We want entertaining games. So
Yeah.
if every Cowboys game this year is a shootout, then we ball, dude. Let's go.
I'd rather see us, just like absolutely, lose, but like the score is like 60 to like 58,
Yeah,
then like
nine
win
to
and the score
three.
is like 17 to 14.
Oh yeah.
But I think I'm done with my like Micah Parsons hot takes. Do you have any other hot takes you want to add to the
Um.
situation?
Yeah, I just think like this is just a byproduct of the team's horrible culture, and I'm not saying Micah was blameless. Like all things we talked about are true. That he kind of acted up during this, and walked away from a lot more money on the table, but. These are all just symptoms of Jerry Boy and the team being run by his ego, and just kind of thinking he can do whatever he wants. And most of the time, it worked with Lamb, it worked with Dak, but eventually someone's gonna be like, "Screw you."
Well, that's because
And
those were players that actually wanted to be in Dallas.
yeah, and this, I also I want to build on your point you made earlier, as well, where it's like this, and this is the last thing I want to say about it. This whole like Micah fiasco has like greatly increased my respect for Dak Prescott, just because I mean we've dunked on his performance all the time, but like he never pulled anything like this off the field. Like he was just strictly like about ball, and he didn't like sit out, he didn't like go on a podcast and cry. He like you said, like he balled out, and he got rewarded for it.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, NFL agent. The leeches of the PA. You're making us
Yeah,
defend Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones.
I know. But I'm not. No, I'm not defending Jerry. I'm not defending Jerry.
I
I'm
had to
defending
slightly
Dak.
defend Jerry in this instance because it's not like he didn't not try to pay the man. I see a lot of like laughing in comments on the internet about, and let's be real. If you're a Dallas fan, just try to stay off the internet. I know it's
Yeah,
impossible though, but there's comments all like, haha, like you should have just tried to pay him. Like, yeah, we did a lot of money, and he didn't want to sign it. Like, if somebody doesn't want to play for your organization for $202 million, there's just something genuinely that can't be done at that point.
yeah. That's why it's
And
just there's the door.
yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that is indicative of the culture that is being dealt with in Dallas, in the locker room or in like Jerry's, Tower of Solitude or whatever it's called,
Yeah,
his
good old Jerry
fortress on
boy.
Mustafar.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, it sucks, but there's faults on both sides. There's like, I think neither party's innocent, but we wish Micah Parsons the best of luck in Green Bay.
And let's dissect that. In Green Bay, his away games? No, 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 no. I wish him to lose all of his away games.
Yeah, lose all of his away games. Well, I
But in
wish.
Green Bay, he can have some success.
I hope that he stays healthy and the Packers lose every game.
Yeah, I hope all the Packer players remain healthy, but I hope they lose a lot of games.
They lose every single game, and then Micah holds out, and he's like, I want to go to a different team.
Dude, I wish Jerry would have sent Micah to some team like the Saints.
Yeah, just in like an absolute trash team. Congrats, Micah.
We'll get like 2 second rounders.
Yeah, you're an Indianapolis Colt.
Yeah, at least make it funny.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do something like this, please just make it funny.
Is he still doing the podcast?
Micah?
Yeah.
Probably. I've never watched his podcast.
No, I've only seen clips. I would never sit down. I mean, hot take: football players, at least active football players, should not have podcasts. Like that should not be allowed.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that active sports players should not be allowed to do. Like gamble.
They're getting to the point where it's like maybe operating a vehicle, kind of question.
Dude, for real. Okay, sorry. At least he's getting suspended for 6 games.
6 games? a little context. We're talking about Rasheed Rice on the
Yes.
Chiefs for the incident last year where he was a hit
Obliterated
and
like 3
run.
vehicles on
He
the
bladed,
highway.
and then he just left. His like him and his like boys. There's like videos of him and like his like posse. They're just like walking away
Yeah.
casually from the wreck. And yeah, he gets 6 games, which is I think it's a crazy low number.
Okay. Another thing that active like sports players should probably be banned from is going to massage
Yes,
parlors.
don't go to massage parlors.
Do not.
That's a bad idea.
It is a bad idea. Yeah, if I worked at a massage parlor and I see like an active like sports player, nope, get out.
Yeah, you gotta leave.
You have sports therapy like rooms by your organization for a reason.
Yeah, they all have like basically have personal trainers.
Yeah,
There's,
exactly.
There's no reason you to be going to a massage parlor.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, that's a little spicy of a topic, but
it's true.
it's true, but it is true.
Anyway, so I think that closes out our Micah Parsons like hot big news
Emergency
hot takes.
episode.
Yeah, but while I still have you here, instead of making a second episode, because I'm probably going to be busy, let's
Watching
do our
football.
before the points. Yeah, let's do our before the points. Look at the
Do it.
upcoming football games because football starts this Thursday.
Guys, we are so back.
We're so back. We're so hyped, and we're doing the wings challenge again, right?
Of course.
Okay. All right. If you are a newcomer to the show, this is how we will do things here. Normally, we have an episode where we review the games, and then an episode where we preview the games. This is kind of a little bit of bonus episode, and we're going to also preview the games. But as far as previewing the games go, Chris and I have this thing where we'll take our predictions, and sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we'll disagree, and whoever wins or gets the most games predicted correctly, they get a point. Whoever gets the most points by the end of the regular season will get some hot wings paid for by the loser. Last season was the first time we did this, and I unfortunately lost by I think 3 or 4 weeks.
That's right.
And I had to pay Mr. Kenny Clark fan here with some buffalo wings that he may or may not have dropped.
The hazy's the record's kind of hazy on that.
But the wings were all right. They were a little dry, not gonna lie.
Really? I don't know. I like that spot a lot.
You like that spot?
Yeah, no free advertising, but I think
No free. There is another spot in town that I'm probably gonna hit up at some point. If next time in the future, probably 10 years from now when I lose the next season.
When I win again.
Well, no, I'm winning like the next 9 for sure.
When my reign of terror continues, we're going Brady mode.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, starting Thursday, we got the first game of the season. We have the Dallas Cowboys being hosted by the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, everyone wants to discount the Cowboys. I probably should discount the Cowboys. There's no way they're actually going to win this game. But, like I said earlier, when it comes to if Dak Prescott was my quarterback and I'm putting together a top 10 list, that's your ride or die. Dallas Cowboys are my ride or die. You knew it was coming. They're going like 17-0 this season, according to my predictions. The Dallas Cowboys will beat the Philadelphia Eagles this Thursday.
It's giving Scooter Magruder.
Isn't that why people are here?
That's true.
Don't they like seeing the Dallas fans go delusional?
Going crazy. And, as much as I would love to agree with you, I have a legacy to protect.
Not legacy.
Dude,
when you lose this one, and it's not an if, when, because you're going to be wrong here. When you lose this game, you're going to call me and you'll be like, there's no freaking way.
No, I'll be happy. I'll be happy to be wrong on this one.
Okay.
But,
guy, even if it costs you your legacy? Guys, he cares about wings more than he does his team. Fake fan.
That's not true. That's not true. I want that strike that from the record. That is not true. But yeah, I just looking at things objectively. Cowboys just lost their best player on defense. Eagles basically kept everyone from their Super Bowl winning roster, and they got better, and they like drafted really strong as well. So I unfortunately have to. It's not saying that I want this to happen, but I think the Philadelphia Eagles will win.
Traitor.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that at least one other time this season. So.
Oh, well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the vibes are the next time they play.
All right. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the San Diego Chargers. You know, I'm high on those Chargers this season, and I'm probably gonna predict the Chargers to go like 12-5. So, Chargers beating the Chiefs.
Yeah. This game is in Sao Paulo.
Oh.
So
again. Thought we were done with that.
No, we're never done with that. If the NFL sees a chance to make money and expand into an international market, they're gonna do it. That being said, I gotta go with the Chiefs here. I just think that.
Dude, I might boycott this game if I have to see Taylor Swift more than like 2 times on screen.
Football's back, baby.
No, but you know what happened like a few days ago, right?
Yeah,
the engagement.
We're not talking about that on this show. We're not talking. This is a football podcast.
It's gonna ruin football.
This is a football podcast. This is not a celebrity gossip podcast.
It's currently a football podcast. And before it becomes a celebrity gossip podcast, it will become an UMA podcast.
Yes, that's true.
And then after that, I don't know, probably like Call of Duty 3 Zombies like lore podcast.
That would be so sick. And then after that, a baseball podcast.
Why don't we do the baseball before, I don't know, literally anything else?
Because, dude, I've thought about it. Like, doing a baseball podcast would be grind because there's games every day.
Dude, for reals. You could do like a weekly thing, but
it's like so much happens.
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, yeah, I'm just on vibes. I gotta go with the Chiefs. It's just it's basically impossible to tell this early in the season.
You can't be like, on vibes alone. I'm the guy on vibes here.
I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna be the vibes guy this year.
No, I'm gonna get like a crystal orb and just like use that a magic 8-ball.
But yeah, already.
Will the Philadelphia Eagles collapse mid-season? Oh, most certainly. You heard it here, guys.
Oh wow! Bold prediction.
Yeah. Hey, big news, hot takes.
That's so true. Big news, hot takes. But yeah, okay. Next game.
All right, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Danny Dimes is as bad as people think he is. He had to have had something to at least look better than Anthony Richardson. Colts win.
I think it's more of just Anthony Richardson being just trash.
He had some flares last season.
I don't know. I cannot endorse that. The Colts legit have a case to be the worst team in football. And the Dolphins still have Tua for now. So as long as that lasts, I got to go with the Dolphins here.
Wow, Chris is starting off 0-3 already.
Dog, you're picking the Colts. You're picking Danny Dimes.
I know what I'm picking.
Think about that for a second. Think about that. You're picking Danny Dimes.
Hey.
Okay, but anyways.
Next game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets. Bit of a revenge game. the entire Jets franchise against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, the Jets are just unfortunately going to lose that revenge game. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have some gas with this game and ball out and lead the Steelers to a victory.
I agree. This is the first one we agree on. Just in the sense that the Jets are just so trash, and I don't think Justin Fields is that good of a quarterback, and he can't read a defense. So it's like even like old man Aaron Rodgers, I think will outduel him. And yeah, this 2-15 starts with this loss for the Jets.
All right. Next game, Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a bit of a cat fight here.
It's a cat fight.
Logically, I should pick the Jaguars, but the vibes are telling me the Panthers are winning this one.
I agree with you here.
No way. Guys, he's unoriginal.
No. Okay, let me go first on the next one then.
Okay, fine.
Yes, I do think the Panthers are going to win this. I think just the amount of pressure that's on Trevor Lawrence right now. Everyone's like, oh, he's a bust and he's trash. And
Did he play any games in the preseason?
That I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not.
So he hasn't taken the field since his injury.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Coming back from a big injury.
That was a nasty injury.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't know, dude. I feel like the Panthers are hungrier. I feel like the Panthers have something to prove.
They're the bigger cat in the jungle.
They're the bigger cat. Are Panthers bigger than Jaguars?
Welcome to the Let Me Google That podcast.
I think they are. When I was a kid, I saw a jaguar at the zoo, and I was like really confused because it didn't look like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, Jaguars are larger and heavier than panthers. Panther is not a distinct species, but a common name for melanistic leopards, and jaguars are some. Okay, whatever. I don't need to
Jaguars are a subset of panthers. Well, that's confusing.
So, panthers are just black jaguars, or jaguars are just yellow panthers?
I think jaguars are just yellow panthers. So does that mean they can like interchange players on the team? Like, let's say like Trevor Lawrence goes down, they can just be like, "Hey, we need Bryce Young," and you have to do it because they're a subset.
Panthers have spots.
Panthers have spots? They're just like black.
No, they have spots.
That's weird. I don't understand like the big cats of the animal kingdom.
Wait, they're not jaguars. They're panthers. Are panthers leopards or jaguars?
Maybe they're leopards. I don't know. This is confusing.
We're gonna become a big cat podcast at this point. My sister sent me an Instagram reel of this gargantuan-sized panther at a zoo.
I think I could befriend it.
Yeah. Hey, if not friend, then why friend-shaped?
Exactly. They're just big cats. They're literally just big cats.
Yeah. Speaking of cats, where did mine go? I don't know. She hates the yapping. Anyway, so we both agree that Panthers are winning?
Yes.
All right. I'll let you take the next three.
All right. So next up on my list, I have the Buccaneers at the Falcons.
Okay.
I think the Buccaneers win it.
I
think Baker's going to have a big year this year.
This is at home for the Falcons, so for that alone, I'm going to say the Falcons win.
All right. Got a lot of money games for week 1.
We do have a lot of money games for week 1. I mean, the Bucs is the safe choice, but I mean, just being at home might give the Falcons the advantage because week one tends to be sloppier games.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like most teams are just like such unproven commodities right now. Like we're just basically throwing darts at the board.
Yeah, so I mean I have to give it a little bit to the home field advantage on this one. I think
That's
these
fair.
two teams are quite similar.
I think this is one that could easily go either way. But yeah, next up I had Bengals and Browns. This is an open and shut case. Bengals.
Okay, hold on. Let's have a little bit of fun with it because the Bengals don't show up until at least week 5.
That is true. They get up to notoriously slow starts. But dude, this Browns team.
What happened to Elite Joe Flacco?
I love Elite Joe Flacco, but he's 40. You're 40. The morale is low. Probably every play, like Shedeur Sanders is going to be like.
No, Shedor's like the third string.
But yeah, he's going to be begging to be put in. He's going to be like, I should be starting. He's going to be in the coach's ear. And then Deion Sanders is probably going to be like calling the coach too. He's like, why don't you start my boy? So it's just the Browns are just such a mess that even though the Bengals are, slow starters, I gotta pick them to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to copy you, but objectively speaking, like the Browns are just not a good team, and the Bengals have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Yeah, and they were able to bring back Trey Hendrickson on the defense. So
I mean, their defense still is like a wet tissue, but
yeah,
so wet tissue that is
with a dog on it. It's got at least one dog on it. Maybe someone will step up. Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah. The next one I had Raiders at Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I do have to agree there. I think the Raiders are bad. Who's their QB? I don't even know.
Geno Smith.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, who's their QB again?
Geno Smith.
Fun fact: Geno Smith and Sam Darnold had the same exact numbers last season.
That's so crazy. They're literally the same player.
Yeah, they're literally the same player. And let's be real: if I don't believe in Sam Darnold with Seattle, why should I believe in Geno Smith with the Raiders?
Yeah. I just the only interesting thing the Raiders have going on is I want to see how Ashton Jeanty does in his first game. Pretty highly hyped up running back prospect, but other than that, I think the Patriots just are going to be a bit more solid. So yeah, I think they take it.
All right. Now for some reason your 3 were kind of out of order. You skipped 2 games on my screen. I don't know how you did that. But I have the Cardinals at the Saints. I think the Saints are just such a bad team right now this season. And I know in last season they somehow had a phenomenal first 2 games.
I remember that.
I do not think that the Cardinals are a phenomenal team though. But I think they objectively are better than the Saints.
I agree. I'm not super high on the Cardinals this year. I think they could legit lose to any team, but
I think they can lose to any team that's not the Dallas Cowboys. I had this conversation with my dad. The Cardinals somehow have silently owned the Dallas Cowboys.
I know. It's disappointing.
They have gone 7-3 in the last 10 games against Dallas.
That sucks.
I know. Dude, I was thinking about buying Dallas tickets to watch this game. And I'm like, no, dude, they're going to lose. Why?
But yeah.
But if you want to watch a Dallas game, let me know in November.
Oh, Thanksgiving?
No. The Cardinals at Dallas.
Oh, I thought you meant the Cowboys and Chiefs game on Thanksgiving.
Dude, that's on Thanksgiving. No.
Cowboys are gonna ruin Thanksgiving again.
Talking about they're gonna make my Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
they're gonna ruin it for the Swifties. Anyway.
Yeah,
so
I also picked the Cardinals.
Okay, NFC East matchup here. We have the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. Look, I don't think the Washington Commanders are it this season. I think a lot of people are high on them because they had a really great rookie season. But I mean, that team is just old. And you got
Yo,
Jaden Daniels on gonna hit that sophomore slump. I think this is gonna be the surprise slipping team right here. Do I think that the Giants can beat them though? You know, just this one game, I think the Giants are gonna win.
I don't think I just think Russell Wilson is just so cooked
He's
at
not
this
starting.
point. Who's starting? Is it Jackson Dart? No, it
I,
can't be Jackson Dart.
wait, is it Russell Wilson's?
It's got to be Russell Wilson.
Is it Jameis Winston?
That would be hype. If it's Jameis Winston, I'm picking the Giants.
QB for the Giants. It might be Jackson Dart.
There's no shot it's Jackson Dart. They're gonna sit him.
But I mean, I'm reading a report, but this is from like July. The Giants have had Russell Wilson as their starting quarterback for months, but it is the commitment. Wait,
According to ESPN's roster, it's gonna be Russell Wilson.
no, I'm still putting on. I'm still saying the Giants beat the Commanders here.
I like your moxie, but and I want to agree with you, but I just cannot. After just watching the last like 3 years of football, I just can't pick Russell Wilson to win a single game. He's cooked.
He had some good games in with Denver.
He had
Some.
some decent games. He had some decent games with Denver.
Okay. Let's see. San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Tunas. See, it's funny, guys.
Who knows?
I do have to show some love to teams that our fans like. So if this is the only game I pick the Tunas to win, then so be it. But I have the Seattle Tunas beating the San Francisco 49ers.
What even is a Seahawk? We say this all the time.
It's so people say that it's not. We've had this conversation. It's supposed to be like an osprey, but yeah,
just, the Seahawks are not real birds. There's seagulls. There's ospreys. Want to be the ospreys?
I mean, osprey is just kind of a cool word too.
Osprey is a cool word. It's a plane as well.
It's a VTOL.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's a VTOL, but
wait, is it
Seahawks are not real animals. There is no Seahawk in the wild, and based on that alone, I got to pick the 49ers.
It is not solely plane nor helicopter. It is a tilt rotor aircraft that combines the capabilities of both. So it's neither plane nor helicopter. So it's just classified as a tilt rotor aircraft. So I guess VTOL aircraft is probably like the closest classification, I guess.
Point After endorses the Osprey.
The bird, not the aircraft.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, 49ers. I just think I don't know they're gonna bounce back. You know, they had a rough season. They just had rough injury luck last year. But you know that lineup's still stacked even without Debo. You can get it done.
So, I know. I think for as little that Debo did for them last season, I think that they're gonna be missing him a lot more than they think that they are.
Definitely. I agree because like yeah, you're right. Even like his production isn't crazy, but just having that option, having that like gadget guy that like teams have to plan for opens up a lot of other stuff. But I don't know, maybe someone can step in and fulfill that role. But it's like, you know, they still got Ayuk, they still got a strong O line, they still got CMC, it's got Kittle.
Is CMC actually playing though? Like I have not been I don't follow the Niners, but so I couldn't tell you if
I think he was questionable.
Still, dude, what black magic hurt him?
I know. What, dude? I mean,
that man got hit by a Morgul blade.
For real. I mean, that's the thing people forget because like his first year on the Niners was like relatively healthy, but like CMC's always been kind of a you know,
Paper skin, glass bones.
paper skin, glass bones.
Let it be known that the Niners had a man actually get shot by a gun and recover and still play within the same season that CMC had to sit out.
He's just a beast, dude. He's a killer. But
Just pointing that out.
yeah, I definitely think the Niners should take this one.
All right, we got another money game there. Titans, Broncos. Let's make this one quick and easy. Broncos win. Titans
Yep.
bad.
Yep.
Lions, Packers.
This is a tough one. This is a toughie. In Green Bay. At
You know,
125.
I know I just said I wish Michael Parsons luck at Green Bay, but I think he's going to have some locker room adjustments. I think they're going to be like, a little high on like Michael Parsons this, Michael Parsons that.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Parsons is going to think he is, the big cheese and everything. And this is going to be humbling for them. I think the Lions win.
Ooh. I agree. I think the Lions have a better team still. Packers still have a lot more to prove. It's like, what version of Jordan Love are we going to get any given Sunday? And the thing is, Micah might not make that big of an impact right away because like he has a new system to learn. And like, granted, as a defensive end, like your goal is going to be the same thing. It's going to be get the quarterback.
He's a linebacker.
Is he going to be playing linebacker in Green Bay?
I'm pretty sure he's classified as a linebacker.
Really?
Yeah.
In Green Bay. Because a lot of time, and he would move around, he would travel, but most of the time
I know.
Dallas, he was
it's just
coming
weird.
off the
Like
edge.
he made like a big stink about like being listed as an edge rusher at some point instead of a linebacker, which like affects his pay. But he's complains about not being played on the edge. So what do you want to be, Micah?
Now I guess now that he got paid, I guess he don't mind.
So obviously they're going to try to use him as an edge rusher.
Yeah,
I think Green Bay has a decent enough linebacker core.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, just letting you know, Micah has been listed, previously with Dallas as a linebacker, not an edge rusher.
Right. But that Packers defense is gonna be kind of nasty now. No, I still think the Lions beat them.
Is Aiden Hutchinson back?
Is he back? I don't think so.
Yeah, he has full clearance.
Nice. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, that solidifies my prediction.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah, Lions get it done.
100% recovered, confident in his condition, participated in training camp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was a nasty injury, too. He broke his tibia and his whole hacking leg.
Modern medical science.
I'm not surprised his whole leg broke. I saw that game. You saw that game.
It was rough.
Legs do not move in that orientation.
They should not.
But locking in Lions. You locking in Lions?
Yes.
All right. Texans at Rams.
This is a tough one.
That's a tough one. Can we come back to this one?
Let's come back to this one because I think that's the next one's tough too.
Oh no. Okay. Shoot. Okay. Grabbing my crystal ball here, my magic 8 ball. Okay. I am gonna have zero reasoning. I am just feeling these vibes. Right?
Right.
Rams beat Texans. Ravens beat Bills. Do not ask me why.
Then the vibes flow through him. I think I agree with you that the Rams beat the Texans, but I think the Bills have had the Ravens number. So I think I'm going to go with the Bills.
Okay, I actually have evidence for the Ravens beating the Bills. That playoff game was ugly, and the Bills only won because of a dropped pass, all right?
That is true. That is true.
And it was dropped because they're playing in the snow, so... Okay, well, maybe it was dropped for different, other reasons, but you're picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, that was a very close game. Ravens, though, prone to losing week one in stupid ways. Saw it last year. I think it was Zay Flowers just barely having that toe out against the Chiefs.
Wear white shoes. Oh my goodness, that comment made me so upset.
But yeah, that's the Sunday night game. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to all these games.
Dude, I just can't wait, man. Sunday, just waking up, just turning on Red Zone. We're so back.
We're so back. We're so back.
We are so back.
Okay, now, do we need to make this a tiebreaker? Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
We're at 7 right now. We have 1 more game.
5, 6, 7. So we have an odd number. This is not a tiebreaker for us.
We have 1 more game though.
What do you mean we have 1 more game?
Vikings and Bears.
Oh, well, yeah. I get that's right, because we could disagree. You really think the Bears are going to be the Vikings, though?
No.
Yeah. So we have 7 games.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Like, I jumped the gun there, but, like, there's no way the Bears are beating the Vikings. I'm sorry. I know JJ McCarthy is a little bit unproven, but I think for the most part, that Vikings core, we saw what they were able to do with just Sam Darnold. So
yeah, I just put me in there. Just let me throw to Justin Jefferson, and we beat the Bears. So
they still have Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I believe, is healthy. Yeah, they have Justin Jefferson, and I mean, did the Bears gain anything really significant other than Brian Johnson?
Well, yeah,
Ben Johnson. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's also a question of is Caleb Williams going to be able to take the next step? Which there are some moments he looked really mid last year. There's some moments he looked like pretty solid, and some moments where he just looked like straight trash. But he was a rookie quarterback. Like, I think our expectations get skewed by guys like Daniels and Stroud that kind of hit the ground running. That's not normally the case.
You know who also hit the ground running as a rookie?
Who?
Dak Prescott.
So true.
He led the Dallas to be the number 1 seed in the NFC his rookie season after Romo got obliterated during the preseason.
We don't talk about what happened after that. But up until then, pretty sick.
Yeah, but so I'm just saying that rookie QBs have popped off in the past.
Yes, it's possible, but it shouldn't be the expectation.
I think at this point it should be the expectation, though. Jared Goff was a rookie, and he didn't pop off immediately, but he has had a lot of success within his rookie contract. I mean, he got to a Super Bowl and to the NFC.
But he didn't play great.
He didn't play great, but he still got to a championship game.
But it's he wasn't the reason that Rams team got to the Super Bowl. Their defense was filthy and their running.
No, what I'm saying is, didn't they get to the NFC Championship game the season before they lost that embarrassing, boring Super Bowl?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I would have to look it up. I could be just making things up, because if it's older than 2 years, then it's like ancient history in my brain, according to football.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who else popped off their rookie season? To be fair, Patrick Mahomes as a starter has his worst finish as a starter has been an NFC loss. Or sorry, an AFC Championship loss.
He's sad as a rookie, though.
He did sit as a rookie. But I just want to point that out. As a starter. Brock Purdy popped off as a rookie.
Yeah, an insanely stacked roster.
Okay, but he still popped off, is what I'm getting at.
Put me behind that line, and I would pop off too.
After our training camp video, I actually doubt that.
Hey, I was getting in season shape. I was getting in season form.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, my point is like, no, I don't think you should. It'd be great if your quarterback does pop off in his rookie season, but I don't think that should be the expectation. That being said, I don't know if Caleb Williams has like taken the next step. I don't think he's like played during the preseason, so we're gonna have to see because like who knows, maybe he could just show up and be like a beast, which that would change. That would change a lot.
Bears not winning a game until week 4. Calling it right now.
Who are they playing week 4?
The Raiders.
Oh yeah, okay, they got that one in the bag.
Let's see. So I'm just looking at the Bears schedule. Bears might win week 7 against the Saints.
Yeah, they got that.
Dude, I think the Giants could actually beat the Bears in week 10.
No shot. Russ, dude.
At that point, Jameis Winston might be playing.
If Jameis is in, then that's a different story.
They might beat the Steelers in a boring game on week 12.
They'll beat the Steelers 9-3 on Thursday night. That sounds like a Thursday night game? Bears,
let me see. November 23rd. No, it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday morning.
Oh, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
All right, but that is that's week 1.
Yeah, so we have 7 money games for week 1. I just want to remind everybody that Dallas Cowboys are going to win
the Super Bowl.
I was thinking about saying Super Bowl, but they're gonna win at some point, like win with an ellipse. Like at some point, they're gonna at least win one game this season.
Yeah. My dog's barking.
Well, that's our sign. Let me get that music going. It's too loud. All right, are you fantastic, fabulous, football fanatic, freakazoid fan? I didn't know what to say there. As always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I'm your host, Chris.
And thank you for tuning into another episode of Point After Podcast. This time we just kind of talked about the Micah Parsons trade. Big news, hot takes, gave our predictions for the upcoming season. And I apologize, I have been really bad at making sure that this stuff gets uploaded to Spotify on time. But until Antonio Brown wants to give us that free intern work, yeah.
The offer still stands.
Yeah. I need to be held more accountable.
Well, yeah, dude, football's coming back.
We're so back. All right. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever. Right. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video or show.